This video is made by Henry, Hajime and Isabella. The discovery of penicillin, one of the world's first antibiotics, marked a true turning point in human history. Penicillin was discovered in London in September of 1928. As the story goes, Dr. Alexander Fleming, who was a bacteriologist, returned from a summer vacation in Scotland, and he was on duty at St. Mary's Hospital. Dr. Fleming discovered a mold called Penicillium notatum had contaminated his petri dish. After carefully placing the dish under his microscope, he was amazed to find the mold prevent the normal growth of the staphylococcus. It took Fleming a few more weeks to grow enough mold so that he was able to confirm his finding. His conclusion showed that the mold not only inhibits the growth of the bacteria, but also can be useful to combat the infectious disease.
What do you think about your penicillin discovery?
So when I woke up just after dawn on September 28, 2098, I suddenly didn't plan to revolutionize all medicine by discovering the world's first antibiotic or bacteria killer. But I guess that was exactly what I did.
Okay, thank you.
14 years later, in March 1942, Anna Miller became the first patient to be successfully treated with penicillin. She was lying near death at New Haven Hospital in Connecticut after miscarrying and developing an infection that led to blood poisoning. Her doctor obtained a tiny amount of experimental penicillin and injected inside her body. After one day, she nearly recovered and her life was saved.
Thank you, doctor, for saving my life.
Fleming didn't take a giant step on investigating more on penicillin mold. That start fall on Dr. Florey, and he extracted the active penicillin mold juice. In 1938, when Florey, who had long been interested in the way that bacteria and mold naturally kill each other, came across Fleming's paper on the penicillin mold while reading through some back issue of the British Journal of Experimental Pathology. Soon after, Florey and his colleagues decided to unravel the science beneath what Fleming called penicillin's antibacterial action. Dr. Ernest Chain, who fought constantly with Florey over the credit of developing penicillin,
I am the one who developed the penicillin. No, it's me.
Despite their battles, they produced a series of penicillin mold culture fluid extract.
Well, I had enough promising information to test the drug on human, but how can I produce enough penicillin for a lot of people?
It took 2,000 liters of mold culture fluid to obtain enough pure penicillin to treat a single case of sepsis in a person. In September 1940, Alexander Albert provided the first test case. Alexander was working in a rose garden, and he got scratched from a rose, and he was infected with staphylococcus.
Okay, I will inject penicillin to your body and you will be fine.
However, Chain and Florey didn't have enough pure penicillin to inject inside his body, so Alexander was dead at the end. In the summer of 1941, shortly before the United States entered World War II, Florey and Heatley flew to the United States, where they worked with the American scientists. The purpose of traveling is to search more about the productive species. Mary Hunt picked up a cantaloupe in the market, and that was covered with a pretty golden mold. The mold turned out to be the fungus Penicillium christianum, and it yielded 200 times the amount of penicillin as the species of Fleming has described. During the war, penicillin drugs saved thousands of lives. In World War I, the death rate from the bacterial infection was 80%. In World War II, it fell to less than 1% due to the penicillin drug. By the end of the war, American pharmaceutical companies were producing 650 million units a month. Finally, in 1945, Fleming, Florey, and Chain were awarded the Nobel Prize in Medicine. In 1990, Heatley awarded the first honor of medicine in Oxford's 800 years history. Good. Penicillin is a breakout in the field of medicine. It saved millions of lives from the infectious disease. However, human race should be aware of the overuse in penicillin that may pose a new threat of worsening the problem of antibiotic resistance. Thank you for watching the video.